Hey, what's up guys? Joker here, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to be doing an interesting format for a Q&A, something I've never actually done on the channel. I've never done a Q&A here for you guys on the channel, so I thought this would be a good time to do one with everyone home on quarantine because of what's going on in the world. And yesterday I saw a post from First We Feast and Heatonist asking their fans to do a Hot Ones at Home challenge. In case you're not familiar with it, Hot Ones is a web show here on YouTube hosted by Sean Evans over on the First We Feast channel, where they bring on celebrities, YouTubers, athletes, things of the like, and they ask them questions as they progress through 10 wings that are hotter and hotter as you go along. I've actually got a few of their own sauces here that I'm going to be using for this challenge. I've got 7 sauces, so 7 wings total in front of me so that I could take their Hot Ones at Home challenge, and I'm going to be pairing each wing up with a question from you guys that you posed to me over on Twitter between last night and now, asking you guys to do a Q&A for an interesting format, which I think it's definitely going to be interesting, as I'm going to be eating some pretty spicy wings here, ending off with one of the Hot One sauces, their hottest sauce, basically the last dab, which uses Pepper X, which is the hottest pepper in the world. So things are definitely gonna get spicy here really quick. To get things set up and to make it as, true to the show as possible, I kind of took a shortcut by not making my own wings. I actually went out to Popeyes this morning and I bought a box of just chicken wings, which I then cut in half into the drumettes and the flats, because that is how they do it on the show. They serve drumettes and flats. It's not like a whole wing that they serve for each question. So that is how I went ahead and portioned them up, and then I took each of those wings and I slathered them in the different sauces along with a teaspoon of butter at a 2-to-1 ratio. So basically I had 2 teaspoons of each given hot sauce with 1 teaspoon of butter, because that's traditionally how buffalo wings are made. You take your hot sauce, you mix it with some butter, and then you go ahead and coat your wings. So that's what I did here with each of the different hot sauces that are on the 7 wings that I now have presented in front of me. So first question comes from Jerome Carter. This is kind of an easy one. He says, what's your real name? How old are you? And what did you study in varsity? I'm assuming he means university there with that last question. So that's 3 questions, but they're all pretty easy. So I'll start off with the first one. What is your real name? This is something I've said before on the channel, but it's not something I say frequently. My real name is Craig. I'll give you guys my first name. I'm not going to reveal my last name. Let's go ahead and get a bite of our first wing, which is using Louisiana hot sauce. This is just a typical, garden variety hot sauce, typical to something like Frank's. And yeah, it's got, a mild amount of heat to it, but nothing really that's going to go ahead and blow your socks off. So I'm going to start off with the goal of cleaning all the bones for these different wings, but we'll see how things get as we progress onward. I do have some water on standby and a very small amount of milk. This is actually the last of the milk we have in the house. If I had known that when I went out to get the wings this morning, I would have certainly bought some more milk. Jerome also asked, how old are you? I am currently 35 years old, although I will be turning 36 next month. And what did you study in university? I actually only attended college for half a semester before leaving to go work full-time. And actually, believe it or not, I started out by studying TV and film and then didn't do anything in that field whatsoever for a very long period of time, and then sort of fell into YouTube and didn't realize until years later that I had actually started out wanting to work in TV and film. And then here I have a YouTube channel, and it took me, I guess I'm saying like 4 or 5 years probably after I had already been doing YouTube, where I connected the two, where I was just like, hey, when I went to college, I did TV and film, and now here I am working on YouTube pretty much in the same exact medium. So that's kind of how things all came full circle for me. Our next hot sauce is one that I've actually not tried before. This is called Slap Ya Mama hot sauce. My sister actually was down in New Orleans to pronounce it correctly, in New Orleans for a bachelorette party pretty much right before COVID-19 kicked off around the end of February, and she picked up this hot sauce down in New Orleans. I've not yet to try it, but my fiance has, and she says it's quite good, so we'll go ahead and give it a try here as we go into our second question. I'm just realizing it's hard to be the person that's sort of interviewing yourself as well as eating the wings at the same time without being absolute. Oh, whoa, that's got some heat. That hit me in the back of the throat there. That will definitely slap your mama. So the next question is from Nikolaj Lauritsen over on Twitter. He says, how and why did you get started on YouTube, and what were your first PC and its specs? So how and why did I get started on YouTube? Well, basically I was living down in Florida. I had moved down there pretty much away from my entire family, and I was down there with only one family member that lived nearby. And I was just collecting disability. I was not working at the time, so I was pretty much sitting around all day doing absolutely nothing, playing video games on console. And then I evolved into getting back into PC gaming, and from there, I built a PC and I chose to sort of document everything and film it on my iPhone pretty much, because this is when YouTube was really starting to explode. At the time, like Linus Tech Tips was like one of the few and only tech channels around that was just basically just doing unboxing. So that's kind of how I started out, doing unboxings and then things of the like, until I evolved into doing reviews, and pretty much here where we are today. And my first PC unit specs, I honestly could not tell you, because it was one of my father's PCs when I was a kid. He did play some PC games like Soldier of Fortune, Half-Life, all the way back to things like Wolfenstein 3D, Subattack 88, I believe it was called, were some of the earliest games I played on PC. But I honestly could not tell you what the exact specs were on those systems. But the first PC that I actually built was the one I showed off on this channel back in 2013. Which had an i5 3570K and a GTX 680 in it, which I eventually swapped out for two 770s in SLI because they came out like 2 weeks after I got my card, so I actually returned it and then ended up getting two GTX 770s. The next question is from Mike Miksha as we go into this tattoo brand hot sauce, which is Kashmiri and coconut. And Mike Miksha asks, how do you have your mouse set up, like your DPI and sensitivities? As he said, he just bought a G305, which is currently my favorite mouse, and I pretty much just have it set up on 3200 DPI, and that is where I leave it. I don't change it in games. I'm pretty much always on the default sensitivity setting, as well as the default sensitivity setting within Windows, and I just sit on 3200. If I come into a game and it's feeling a little bit sluggish, I'll go ahead and step it up to something like 4000 DPI, but that's pretty much right around the area where I like to stay. And that Kashmiri coconut was actually a delicious hot sauce. I'd say out of these three, the Slap Ya Mama was actually the hottest one so far, but I'm going to dip into some water here. Yeah, because things are definitely starting to get quite hot around here. So the next hot sauce up is Los Calientes. This is the first one in the lineup that is actually produced by Heatnist, that works along with Hot Ones and makes some of the sauces that they have featured on the show. I've tried this one before. It does have a decent spice level, but it's nothing too crazy. Our next question comes from Rob the Butcher. Also, all the questions come from Twitter. I don't know why I'm even saying it anymore. But Rob the Butcher says, your haircut is really nice. Thank you, by the way. I haven't gotten it done in a couple months, but I try to still keep it looking nice. He said, where do you get your haircut? And he also says, we know you got a PS4 Pro for the new God of War and some MLB action. What do you want from the next God of War? So as far as where I get my haircut, I cannot tell you. I don't want to tell you the exact location because it's a very local establishment. They only have 2 locations in my area, and they're extremely close to my house, but they're like 5 stars on Yelp, and it's an absolutely fantastic location. I go and get a skin fade. That's pretty much the haircut that I always get, and then I just sort of comb over the top, and I use Layrite pomade to style my hair. So I'll give you as many any information about the hair as I can, but I'm not going to reveal the exact location where I do get my haircut. Apologies for that, but it is local here in New Jersey, and they only have 2 locations. And then he also wanted to know what I want from the next God of War game. For the next God of War, to be honest, I really would like them to go back to their roots as far as the combat and gameplay style. I did think the new one was quite good, but I really don't consider it to be a God of War game, at least in the traditional sense. I much preferred the sort of button mashing style of the first few games that they had in the franchise. So I love the graphics and things they did like that with the new God of War on PS4. But if I'm being perfectly honest, I would like to see them go back to their roots as far as the combat and everything is concerned with God of War. But let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on that. If you'd like to see them go back to the way it was, or sort of keep it like sort of Souls-esque format of combat, even though it's not really like Dark Souls at all, but sort of similar in a way. Our next sauce up is called Sauce Bay. It is the skinny habanero hot sauce, and it is made with turmeric. I do believe this one was on Hot Ones at some point, but don't quote me on that for sure. I believe my fiance said that it was, and she saw it in a store, so she got it for me. But I've actually yet to try it, but she actually really enjoys it. So it's got some habanero in there, so that's definitely going to be a little bit higher up on the spice level. And our question for this one is coming from Inks. He said, how is life in general dealing with the COVID okay, and how is the family? Actually, everyone's doing absolutely fine. As far as work is concerned, I work from home. And my fiance, she works in the medical field, so neither one of us have been without work since I can keep doing YouTube, and she's considered an essential worker, so it is not impacting us financially in any way. And I've pretty much been practicing social distancing for the most of my life, so as far as that's concerned, I feel pretty much right at home. And that is also a very, very tasty hot sauce, but it has got some serious spice level. My God, that is hot. I'm saving that milk though for where we come down to the final run here with some Carolina Reaper and Pepper X sauces. But here on sauce number 5, we are still cleaning wings here as we push on along. So this is where things are going to get serious. Our next sauce is from the Bravado Spice Company, and this is black garlic with Carolina Reaper. So this is definitely going to amp things up quite a bit, and it's a very thick sauce, which I've got here on this flat portion of the wing from Popeyes. And our next question is from Dola. He says, what is your favorite drink? Currently, it would be milk if I had some more, to be honest. But typically water, honestly. I drink easily over a gallon of water a day. These normal 16.9 ounce bottles of Poland Spring. I probably go through 6 to 8 of these, if not more, every single day. If you're talking about alcoholic beverages, I guess my go-to drink of choice would be whiskey, and in that family, like my regular drinking whiskey would be something like Jameson. I'm very fond of Irish whiskeys, but then, for special occasions, I'll do like a nice scotch, like a Bruichladdich is one of my favorite scotches, which I'll usually buy for special occasions. It's kind of on the pricey side. It lands anywhere between $100 and $150. Excuse me. But yeah, those are some of the whiskeys I like. And then for beer, sort of my regular drinking beers, I kind of like Miller Lite, to be honest. Pretty simple, but if I'm spending a little bit more, I like a local brewery called Carton Brewery, and my favorite beer in their family is the Carton Boat, which is a session lager, or a session ale, I should say. And Carolina Reaper with black garlic going in. Whoo! Okay. Shit just got real. Holy shit. That is hot, boy. That is hot. That's very, very hot. Oh, man. Oh, I'm going to regret this. I'm seriously going to regret this later. Whew. I am not looking forward to the last dab at all. Oh, man. I'm really saving the milk for the end. I've also got some sugar-free fudgesicles in the freezer. I might need to have one of those as well. Oh, that one builds up. That really likes to build. I think I need some milk. Oh, man. Okay, so let's find our last question here. Sort of an easy one. As I get the last dab ready, if you watch Hot Ones at all on First We Feast, you know it's tradition on their show that for the last dab they put a little extra on the last wing. This is a little bit hotter than my Scandinavian cousins. That is a Hot Ones Chili Klaus reference. If you get that one, let me know in the comments below. Smash that like button. As I go in to the last dab, got a dab on there, sort of a textbook size, I would think. Not looking forward to this. Last question is from Ridiculous, and he asked if I am still playing Rainbow Six Siege. I'm going to get a fresh paper towel here, so I'm careful around my eyes. Don't want to get any of this stuff in my eyes. But I feel like I need to wipe them. So Ridiculous, yeah, he wants to know if I'm still playing Rainbow Six Siege. Honestly, it was one of my favorite games from 2015 until about fall of 2019, until Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out, the new one, which I'm actually starting to lose interest with, so I might go back to Rainbow Six. But I still have a special place in my heart for Rainbow Six Siege, so I might go back to it again in the future. The last time I tried to play it, it felt extremely slow to me because it was right after the patch where they slowed down things like the aim down sight speed, which made the game feel really sluggish to me, just not very fluid to play, especially coming from something like Call of Duty. So no, right now I'm not playing Siege. I'm pretty much playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I've been dabbling in Doom Eternal, and also playing the newest game in the Zombie Army series in co-op with a friend. But here we go. Last dab. Dab first. Going in. Cheers. Wish me luck. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh, the pain. Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Thank you for watching and joining in on this Q&A. If you want to see another Q&A in the future, leave your questions down below on this video. Or follow me over on Twitter at Joker Review, as I'll ask you guys next time I'm going to do a Q&A on there. But if you leave questions below in this video, I'll use them in the next Q&A. I can't promise that we'll do the same format again. But if you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up on it. Subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you all in the next one. Tara. Need more milk.